all the tzaros that we have, and we have to always remember during this month that a Kadosh Baruch Hu remains the Av. He's our Av. Despite all the difficulties that we have, a Kadosh Baruch Hu remains our Av. And it also means that the Aleph Beis of Yiddishkeit is the Emunah, the Pitochon in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's Av. That's the Aleph Beis. Kavi el Hashem chazak b'yameis libecha, the Kavi el Hashem. And the fact is that it's as one of them Meforshim, I forget which sefer, HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves every Jew. And it's like a parent loves each of his children. At the same time, God forbid, if one child is ill, the focus is on that child. The focus is on that child. And therefore, it doesn't in any way diminish his attachment and love for the others, but he galvanizes his kochos, and they're used to be able to focus on the child. And this is what happens during the time of greatest difficulty. At this time especially, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's focus is on us. This parsha of Parshas Matos-Masei, that, and we'll come back to the union of Avelis and Yitzhak Hashem, is the Nesiva Shalom says that there are Dvarim Ha'omdim Beruma Shalom. Number one, we speak about Matos, the Yesod, based on a Rabbeinu Yonah in others, is that one's mouth is similar to a klisharis. One's mouth, like a klisharis. Those of us that are learning Zvach and Menachos, klisharis. What's the idea over here? That especially, why the mouth? Is it like a klisharis? That, by the way, able to transform realities. Now the mouth is all the Avarim. The mouth is that which we learn Torah. We have Tefillah comes from the mouth. Shabbos, the Iker D'Iraisa of Zochar Yom Shabbos Lekadsho, the mouth. Mechiyas HaMoed, the mouth. The Arizal says that we speak with our mouths. Of course, that's how we speak. We have a malach. If we say something positive, a malach tov. We say something negative, God forbid, a malach hara. What's the mouth? It's a dibur bialma. Oh, no, 1 second. Yes, the ruach malala, of course, is major that we speak about in Bereshis. But besides that, is the idea that the mouth is like that klisharis, as we mentioned, because it has all these kochos, and most of our Yiddishkeit comes from our mouth. And therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given the koach of the mouth of lo yachol devoro, do not profane. If you make a neder or a shvua, you have the ability to change the reality. A behemoth is walking around, oblivious to everything. You're a korban, you're a chatas, you're an oiler. A person goes ahead with his mouth and he says, this is osir on me. And chas v'sholom, he doesn't keep it becomes like chazer train. Lo yachol devoro, he's over an Isa D'Iraisa. If he should break his nether or break a shvua. So the idea is, the mouth has this koach. And that's why we understand as well that b'debar tabam, v'lo b'devarim b'telim, even devarim b'telim. I didn't do anything awesome. It's certainly not nipple pad, and I didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to do anything wrong. Use your mouth carefully. Can you imagine a person takes a klisharis and he drinks a Pepsi from the klisharis? I mean, certainly not. Now, there's no problem. Of course, our mouth is for eating, and nowhere am I saying we can't, instead of pouring it in our mouth, and pour it in our ear. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that when it comes to dibur, we should be extremely careful on how we conduct ourselves. The mouth, and I think that in raising our children, we speak at Talmidim, we speak in terms of the mouth is so special. We spoke before, don't eat lani izdati. Emphasize not lashon hara, but lashon tov. It's worth 500 times more than lashon hara. Oh, what is lashon hara? Then you can go into lashon hara. But the issue is positive. Lashon tov, similarly here also. The mouth is something so special. And you can eat it. The mouth looks like a cup, literally. It's like I would put flour in for a korban mincha. Good. That's the idea. Another part says the Nesiva Shalom speaks about Devarim Ha'omdim Shabrum Shalayim are the 42 masos the Klal Yisrael had. The truth is this: Torah is not a storybook. What do you have to know about these masos? Because anyone here, can you give me you say the 42 masos, unless you're about Korban, it's not going to be simple. Because it doesn't make it that much difference to us if they went from here to there, as far as the actual place. But what does make a difference, says the Baal Shem Tov, is that every human being, from the time she leaves his mother's womb, till the time he returns himself to Olamo, in Olam Haba, the fact is he's going to have 42 masos. Within the framework of Taryag mitzvahs, there will be 42 struggles, 42 challenges that a person is going to have. Now, I don't want you to confuse this with the 10 nisyonis of Avraham Avinu. And they say in Sfarim that man has 10 nisyonis in his life like Avraham Avinu. That's true, but in addition to that, there are the 42 others that we're talking about now. Life is interesting. Okay, life is interesting. And therefore, we have these opportunities that other type creatures, other beings that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has created do not have. But Baruch Hashem, so that's the idea. We mentioned the 42 to be able to emphasize, man, this is a blueprint, this is a guideline that man is going to follow, each one of us is going to follow this path, this journey. It's a journey of life that we're seeing. No, K-N-O-W, there will be 42 challenges that we have, and Yitzhak Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses the Siyat D'Shmaya to be able to come out on top of each and every single one of them. Okay, now I want to talk about the Churban a bit. The Yisod is, and you can see this from Shalosh Shudas, Shechal on a Tisha B'Av that falls, that like this year, Tisha B'Av actually is Shabbos. And if it were not, well, let's say it's Sunday. But the halacha is that on Shalosh Shudas, we can eat Kiyat HaMelech. We can eat like a table of Shlomo HaMelech, Basar, Yayin, we can sing Zmiris, Shalosh Shudas. It's so close to Tisha B'Av. What does it teach us? It teaches Avelis, yes, the way Chazal has dictated. Depression, no. Let's talk about depression for a minute. Gemara in Cheskes HaBatim says that after the destruction of the second Beis HaMikdash, where there was no end in sight, after the first Beis HaMikdash, okay, the Yidden understood 70 years from now we're going to have another Beis HaMikdash. Okay, Baruch Hashem, 70 years is a long time, but, okay, we're going to have. Now, no, we don't know. It can take 1,000 years, says the Ben Yehoyada. It can take 2,000 years, But that's, Harayim. However, so the Yidden didn't know. So now they wanted to make certain remazim. So the Perushim stopped eating meat and drinking wine. So Rabbi Yeshua came to them. He saw that they were involved in the Gzeira She'ein Tzibur Yichol Lamod Bo. Too much, unbalanced. He says, Banai, he says, my children, what are you, what are you doing over here? Why are you not eating meat, drinking wine? What? Meat, korbanos. We don't have a meat, we don't have a mizbeach anymore. Wine, we have no more nisochim with wine. How can we drink wine? He says, well, what about lechem? You don't have a mincha either. Maybe we'll stop eating lechem. It's a good idea. We'll eat peiros. How can you eat peiros? They're no more bikurim. Oh, there are other types of peiros. What about mayim? Let's stop with mayim. There no more. We don't have no nisachim from mayim. Either from sukkos. They stopped. Oh, they realized already it's going over the top. Unbalanced. He said, let me tell you what to do. I'm going to show you because Chazal has spelled it out for us. To tell us not to mourn, impossible. We have the Gzeira of mourning. But that we should not mourn excessively. So Chazal have told us, in our homes, we are going to, when we plaster the homes, leave an ama al ama unplastered. That reminds us of the Churban Habayis. When we have a meal, just minimize the meal with kasa daharsana, with a type of fish hash. With something, which is not so elaborate to remind us of the loss of the Mizbeach. And when it deals with a woman wears tachshitim, she leaves something out as well to remind us of the loss of the big day kahuna. But the fact which was considered, the chavod of the Paris was considered like a tachshit that the Kohanim wore. So the fact is this: we have a derech and chazal, but don't overdo it. And that's the yisod. Avelis, yes. and depression, no. It is interesting that during Parshas Pinchas last week, we have the Korbanos mentioned. We have Moadim mentioned. How come? Pinchas usually falls during the 3 weeks. We mention all the Korbanos to remind us that don't think, God forbid, we won't have Korbanos again. We're going to. We're in the midst of a Zman that we are, we're mourning for all this. But there will be Korbanos again. Moadim. These are all the Moadim are listed because this Zman will become a Moed too. And it is very, very instructive. If you look in the Parsha, you'll find that the Pesach is all of the Moedim are stumas. Stuma. So when you start Moedim, regarding the Korbanos, and yet, regarding the Chagim, everything is a stuma except between Shavuos and Rosh Hashanah. So it's between Pesach and Shavuos stuma. After you have, then there's Shavuos, Psucha, and then after Rosh Hashanah, everything is a stuma that you go on to. Why is there a Psucha after the Shavuos? Because we're leaving place for another Yontif. There's going to be another Yontif, and that Yontif is going to be the Yontif of Tisha B'Av and all these days. So there's a place in between. Isn't it interesting? The Chavetz Chaim says this is the time that we have to put aside time to daven for the Churban. Besides Shemona Esrei. Shemona Esrei, 3 times a day, that becomes somewhat routinized. But let us take out time to stop and really think of the Churban so that when Yontif comes in a month from now, it's going to be, Elul, and then follow with Tishrei. We never want Hashem to say, where were you when I needed you during the 3 weeks? You say, HaMelech, help us. Good, help me now. I need you too. So Mitzvah Hashem, we'll have the Binyan Beis HaMikdash, and we won't have to go through this anymore. Thank you very much. A good Shabbos.